Good evening. Welcome back. Sorry for my voice. I'm old tired YouTuber. Let's read Texas Instruments. It's 9:30 and I forgot to watch the Danish news at 9 p.m. But just do that tomorrow. I made a lot of video today, but that was in Danish language. I'm from Denmark, small country up there, north of Germany, Sweden, Norway, Germany, United Kingdom, Russia, Ukraine there, Europe. No, I got this old computers, Intel Core i5. Oh, I cannot record like this. Intel Core i5 650. Yes, sorry. This is 10 years old camcorder. It's not very good in low lights. That was one of my first camcorders. Old Canon. It's used like year 2015. But it can still record the text like this. And this is, I need to use it again because something wrong with the battery, because it's old. I have charged it like more than 500 times. This have got broken through. Yes, this lens supposed to be in front of there. Yes, but next summer I'll be finished to pay two of my big honor loans. I will have $400 every month. From next summer I can start to buy. I can buy much more stuff like GoPro. But next summer I just need the more money I will get it. I need it for pocket money. I need to go out and eating and go to Copenhagen, eat some nice food. Need to buy some new sports clothes made for sweating. That's cotton t-shirt. I need to buy some sports t-shirts. All kind of sports t-shirts like this. When you're sweating, it's not getting wet, it's dry very fast. I have more somewhere. Now I forgot where it was. Could be this one. That's one you wanna save it. That's Adidas sports t-shirts. I need to get a lot more like this because it's very good. It's 2x large, I think. No, I don't know which one. Yes, 2x large. It's 2x large. Yes, there's some. My mom did buy this. Not actually 200 Danish. That was a little bit more than $30. You can get like this $30 sometimes. I need to get because when you're getting hot and sweating, it's made to do that. So let's put it back there. Yes, but I don't think we have power enough to record all that 20 pages. So I made a lot of video today. I was looking old gamer computers, like old Asus second-hand gamer computers on the Danish Blue Papers. Yes, this camcorder is not good for low lights. Yes, 52 the sound level. Let's close my door. I need half a minute to do myself ready. But I read this because Texas Instruments is a big semiconductor manufacturer. And they made pocket calculators in old days. Yes, I have to check my cell phone. Let's read it.
Texas Instruments. Texas Instruments Incorporated. Texas Instruments logo.svg. T signboard Dallas.png. Sign at T's Dallas headquarters. Public traded as NASDAQ, TXN. NASDAQ 100 component. S&P 100 component. S&P 500 component. Industry Semiconductors predecessor. Geophysical Service founded 1930 as Geophysical Service Incorporated. 1951 as Texas Instruments. Founders Cecil H. Green J. Eric Johnson, Eugene McDermott, Patrick E. Haggerty. Headquarters Dallas, Texas, U.S. Key people Rich Templeton. Texas Instruments Incorporated, T, is an American technology company headquartered in Dallas, Texas, that designs and manufactures semiconductors and various integrated circuits which it sells to electronics designers and manufacturers globally. 5. It is one of the top 10 semiconductor companies worldwide based on sales volume. 6. The company's focus is on developing analog chips and embedded processors, which account for more than 80% of its revenue. 7. T also produces T-digit light processing. Technology and education. Technology. 7. Products including calculators, microcontrollers, and multi-core processors. The company holds 45,000 patents worldwide as of 2016. 8. Texas Instruments emerged in 1951 after a reorganization of Geophysical Service Incorporated, a company founded in 1930 that manufactured equipment for use in the seismic industry, as well as defense electronics. 9. T produced the world's first commercial silicon transistor in 1954. 10. And the same year designed and manufactured the first transistor radio. Jack Kilby invented the integrated circuit in 1958 while working at TS Central Research Labs. T also invented the handheld calculator in 1967, and introduced the first single-chip microcontroller in 1970, which combined all the elements of computing onto one piece of silicon. 11. In 1987, T invented the digital light processing device, also known as the DLP chip, which serves as the foundation for the company's DLP technology and DLP cinema. 11. T released the popular T81 calculator in 1990, which made it a leader in the graphing calculator industry. Its defense business was sold to Raytheon Company in 1997. This allowed T to strengthen its focus on digital solutions. 12. After the acquisition of National Semiconductor in 2011, the company had a combined portfolio of 45,000 analog products and customer design tools. 13. In the stock market, Texas Instruments is often regarded as an indicator for the semiconductor and electronics industry as a whole, since the company sells to more than 100,000 customers. 14, 15, 16. Contents. History. Geophysical Service Incorporated. Semiconductors. First silicon transistor and integrated circuits. Chairman, President, CEO. 2. Ahmed Bey, CTO. 3. Products. Analog electronics, calculators, digital signal processors, digital light processors, integrated circuits, embedded processors. Revenue increase $18.34 billion, 2021. Operating income increase $8.96 billion, 2021. Net income increase $7.77 billion, 2021. Total assets increase $24.68 billion, 2021. Total equity increase $13.33 billion, 2021. Number of employees 31,000, 2021. Website et.com. Footnotes/references. 4. Standard TTL microprocessor. First speech synthesis chip. Consumer electronics and computers. Defense electronics, infrared and radar systems. Missiles and laser-guided bombs. Military computers. Divestiture to Raytheon. Artificial intelligence. Sensors and controls. Software. T.com. Restatement. Finances. Divisions. Other businesses. DLP products. Educational technology. TI calculator community. Competitors. Acquisitions. National Semiconductor acquisition. See also. References. Bibliography. Further reading. External links. History. Entrance to Texas Instruments North Campus facility in Dallas, Texas. Texas Instruments was founded by Cecil H. Green, J. Eric Johnson, Eugene McDermott, and Patrick E. Hagerty in 1951. McDermott was one of the original founders of Geophysical Service Incorporated, GSI, in 1930. McDermott, Green, and Johnson were GSI employees who purchased the company in 1941. In November 1945, Patrick Hagerty was hired as general manager of the Laboratory and Manufacturing (L&M) division, which focused on electronics equipment. 17. By 1951, the L&M division, with its defense contracts, was growing faster than GSI's geophysical division. The company was reorganized and initially renamed General Instruments Incorporated. Because a firm named General Instrument already existed, the company was renamed Texas Instruments that same year. From 1956 to 1961, Fred Agnick of Dallas, later a Republican member of the Texas House of Representatives, was the Texas Instruments president. Geophysical Service, Inc. became a subsidiary of Texas Instruments. Early in 1988, most of GSI was sold to the Halliburton Company. Texas Instruments exists to create, make, and market useful products and services to satisfy the needs of its customers throughout the world. 18. Patrick Hagerty, Texas Instruments Statement of Purpose. Geophysical Service Incorporated. In 1930, J. Clarence Kacher and Eugene McDermott founded Geophysical Service, an early provider of seismic exploration services to the petroleum industry. In 1939, the company reorganized as Coronado Corp. 19, an oil company with Geophysical Service Inc., GSI, now as a subsidiary. On December 6, 1941, McDermott, along with 3 other GSI employees, J. Eric Johnson, Cecil H. Green, and H.B. Peacock, purchased GSI. During World War II, GSI expanded its services to include electronics for the U.S. Army, Army Signal Corps, and U.S. Navy. In 1951, the company changed its name to Texas Instruments, spun off to build seismographs for oil explorations. 20, and with GSI becoming a wholly owned subsidiary of the new company. An early success story for TGSI came in 1965 when GSI was able, under a top-secret government contract, to monitor the Soviet Union's underground nuclear weapons testing under the ocean in Vela Uniform, a subset of Project Vela, to verify compliance of the Partial Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. 21. Texas Instruments also continued to manufacture equipment for use in the seismic industry, and GSI continued to provide seismic services. After selling and repurchasing, GSI-T finally sold the company to Halliburton in 1988, after which sale GSI ceased to exist as a separate entity. Semiconductors. In early 1952, Texas Instruments purchased a patent license to produce germanium transistors from Western Electric, the manufacturing arm of AT&T, for $25,000, beginning production by the end of the year. Hagerty brought Gordon Teal to the company due to his expertise in growing semiconductor crystals while at Bell Telephone Laboratories. Teal's first assignment was to direct T's research laboratory. At the end of 1952, Texas Instruments announced that it had expanded to 2,000 employees and $17 million in sales. 22. Among his new hires was Willis Adcock, who joined T early in 1953. Adcock, who like Teal was a physical chemist, began leading a small research group focused on the task of fabricating grown junction silicon, single crystal, small signal transistors. 23. Adcock later became the first T Principal Fellow. 24. First silicon transistor and integrated circuits. In January 1954, Morris Tannenbaum at Bell Telephone Laboratories created the first workable silicon transistor. 23. This work was reported in the spring of 1954, at the IA Off-the-Record Conference on Solid-State Devices, and was later published in the Journal of Applied Physics. Working independently in April 1954, Gordon Teal at T created the first commercial silicon transistor and tested it on the 14th of April, 1954. On May 10, 1954, at the Institute of Radio Engineers National Conference on Airborne Electronics in Dayton, Ohio, Teal presented a paper, Some Recent Developments in Silicon and Germanium Materials and Transistorized Logic Chip, an integrated circuit produced by TI Devices. 25. In 1954, Texas Instruments designed and manufactured the first transistor radio. The Regency TR-1 used germanium transistors, as silicon transistors were much more expensive at the time. This was an effort by Hagerty to increase market demand for transistors. Jack Kilby, an employee at T, invented the integrated circuit in 1958. 26. Kilby accorded his initial ideas concerning the integrated circuit in July 1958, and successfully demonstrated the world's first working integrated circuit on September 12, 1958. 27. 6 months later, Robert Noyce of Fairchild Semiconductor, who went on to co-found Intel, independently developed the integrated circuit with integrated interconnect, and is also considered an inventor of the integrated circuit. 28. In 1969 Kilby was awarded the National Medal of Science, and in 1982 he was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame. 29. Kilby also won the 2000 Nobel Prize in Physics for his part of the invention of the integrated circuit. 30. Noyce's chip, made at Fairchild, was made of silicon, while Kilby's chip was made of germanium. In 2008 he named its new development laboratory Kilby Labs after Jack Kilby. 31. In 2011, Intel, Samsung, LG, ST Ericsson, Huawei's HiSilicon Technologies subsidiary, Via Telecom, and 3 other undisclosed chip makers licensed the C2C Link specification developed by Arteris Incorporated and Texas Instruments. 32. Standard TTL. Texas Instruments under the brands of 7400 series TTL and CMOS here 7400 series of transistor logic chips, developed by Texas Instruments in the 1960s, popularized the use of integrated circuits in computer logic. The military-grade version of this was the 5400 series. 33. Microprocessor. Texas Instruments invented the handheld calculator, a prototype called Caltech, in 1967, and the single-chip microcomputer in 1971, was assigned first patent on a single-chip microprocessor, invented by Gary Boone, on September 4, 1973. 34. This was disputed by Gilbert Hyatt, formerly of the Microcomputer Company, in August 1990, when he was awarded a patent superseding T's. This was overturned on the 19th of June 1996, in favor of T. 35. Note: Intel is usually given credit with Texas Instruments for the almost simultaneous invention of the microprocessor. First speech synthesis chip. In 1978, Texas Instruments introduced the first single-chip linear predictive coding speech synthesizer. 36. In 1976, T began a feasibility study of memory-intensive applications for bubble memory then being developed. They soon focused on speech applications. This resulted in the development of the TMC02801 chip linear predictive coding speech synthesizer, which was the first time a single silicon chip had electronically replicated the human voice. 37. 38. This was used in several T commercial products beginning with Speaker and Spell, which was introduced at the Summer Consumer Electronics Show in June 1978. In 2001, T left the speech synthesis business, selling it to Sensory Incorporated of Santa Clara, California. 39. Texas Instruments Speaker and Spell using a TMC0280 speech synthesizer TI-30 electronic calculator, 1976 Consumer Electronics and Computers. In May 1954, Texas Instruments designed and built a prototype of the world's first transistor radio, and, through a partnership with Industrial Development Engineering Associates of Indianapolis, Indiana, the 100% solid-state radio was sold to the public beginning in October of that year. 40. In the 1960s, company president Pat Haggerty had a team that included Jack Kilby to work on a handheld calculator project. Kilby and 2 other colleagues created the Caltech, a 3-pound battery-powered calculator that could do basic math and fit 6-digit numbers on its display. This 4.25x 6.15x 1.75-inch calculator's processor would originate the vast majority of Texas Instruments' revenue. 20. In 1973, the handheld calculator SR-10, named after slide rule, and in 1974 the handheld scientific calculator SR-50 were issued by T. Both had riddled segments numeric displays. The optical design of the SR50 is somewhat similar to the HP35 edited by Hewlett-Packard before in early 1972. The buttons for the Operations Plus are in the right of the number block, and the decimal point lies between two neighboring digits. T continued to be active in the consumer electronics market through the 1970s and 1980s. Early on, this also included two digital clock models, one a 4-desk and the other a bedside alarm. From this sprang